Chad, who's represented in the movie Edge of Tomorrow by the character Cage, was killed all the time. And he was a Chad. So this is what we're going to talk about. Let me just adjust myself a bit. I don't know if anybody's here fast enough. Oh, the orientation is kind of screwed up. I have to see how this is looking. I might just restart it in a second. Just give me a second. So I can see it on my computer. View your channel. See what's going on. I want to see what it looks like. All right. So, why is this thing so slow? Okay. It's a little bit. Okay. Man, this thing's weird. All right, so there's definitely some lag time. This is the first time I'm doing it horizontally, and this is pretty low tech. I hope people can hear me fine. So let's start. If you haven't seen any of my videos, the videos, if you watch it over more than once, it'll make more sense. If you come in late to the video, I would suggest that you watch it a second time. And why? Because I'm going to cover a lot of stuff, and it would be important for you to see how everything develops. So let's start out with Cage. Cage is the main protagonist in the movie Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow. Also Live, Die, and Repeat. And what makes that movie very interesting is that he has to repeat the same day over and over again. In fact, one of the things that happens is the second he wakes up, the first thing that is said to him is, "On your feet, maggot." It's going to make sense in a minute. Okay, "On your feet, maggot." All right, that's the first thing he says. Somebody says to him, like one of the instructors. Now, after the first death, what happens is that the mimic, he takes the power of the mimic and he controls each day. Each day gets started over again and again upon his death. So we're not going to go into the full plot of the movie, but we're just going to try and see how this ties into Cage, the person. Now, Cage in this movie, he is definitely a Chad. He's suave bola. He works in marketing. He apparently looks very confident, yet he's a coward. Now, we have to understand how a Chad and Tyrone operate. If you look at a Chad, it's pretty privileged. It's the same thing that women enjoy. An attractive woman is similar to Chad or Tyrone. They get the benefits of pretty privilege. So if we were to draw out what would happen in the body, we would see something, all right, we'd see something like this, that he is like shining because of the good looks and effortlessly goes through life, in a sense, attracting women. So this is how he comes into the story. He effortlessly is attracting women. Then his first death, and then after his first death, the second time he sees On Your Feet Maggot, something changes. He sees Rita Vataski, and that's going to be the woman who is the love interest, but all his charm doesn't work with her. There was an initial attraction, but the charm doesn't work. Why? Because someone like Cage or these Chad and Tyrones, they never experienced, or they do experience, but they don't experience it like regular guys experience, where it's almost comical that Rita kills him every day. She kills him all the time. Okay? Now, this is going to become important. Before this moment, he wasn't killed all the time. Chad and Tyrone are so good looking, they don't have to develop anything. They don't develop properly. They are not forged in fire. And most men think that, Chad and Tyrone have it made. Why can't I have a life like Chad and Tyrone? They're just amazing people. Oh my goodness. All the women flock to them. The thing is that if you're in a relationship or if you meet women, it's like their goal is to kill you. It really is, to crush your will. Now, a lot of men, all men experience this, but it's different for Chad and Tyrone, because Chad and Tyrone kind of run things in a sense. They're kind of like dictating the policy. They could be aloof and the woman will enable. So the good looking part of him doesn't let the inside develop. No development. And the women, and because he doesn't get the development inside, it's a very surface level. Now, granted, there are always exceptions to the rule. Whatever, pretty privilege opens doors. That's great. But on the whole, the same thing with the women. If you're getting too much attention, then you're not getting reality. And if you're not getting reality, then you're going to have yes people surround you, just like rich men have yes people around them. And pretty soon they want everyone to be yes people to them. So what's the difference between like a Chad and Tyrone compared to a woman? Well, Chad and Tyrone will sleep with everyone, will sleep with all women that they're not even interested in, to a certain extent. So they'll sleep with a 4 to 10. Occasionally they get a 10. Doesn't mean they get 10s all the time, but they'll sleep with all of them. And the women, they get extremely picky. Now, depending on the relationships the women have had, their pickiness might be justified, might not be justified. So there's a lot going on here. Give me a minute to like get into it more, and it'll make more sense. The woman makes the man, as you watch the movie, he gets killed over and over and over again. By him getting killed, it brings the reality that the good look doesn't matter anymore. He started training to do a mission, and he was under the tutelage of the woman. So when guys get all upset saying that, the woman said something cutting, and then, that hurts your ego, and you're looking at it the wrong way. When women crushes your ego, which Lord knows they love to do that, it's it's something that you have to experience. Just like in the movie, the after he gets reset, it's a fresh new Rita Vataski. It's not the same woman with the memories. It's fresh, no memories. She could not remember anything that happened in the last. So similarly, when you're meeting another woman, it's like they find something wrong with you. Could be absolutely nothing. And then they crush your ego. And if you watch the movie carefully, towards the end, towards he kind of feels sorry for her. He kind of feels sorry for her because she doesn't uh she can't reciprocate what he knows and what he knows about women. So as you learn yourself, when you get crushed, you got to get up again, because men come into the world as a maggot, and they do. You have to build yourself up. Here's where we get. So when the woman is giving you, knocking you down, when she's knocking you down, that's like a cue for you to build yourself up. Now, I'm not just talking about money, because there's a plenty of men that have plenty of money and they are not capable to deal with the woman. They are, in fact, even in the movie, there's actually a funny part where there's a general, and he's having a conversation with the general. In fact, this is like one of the first times I have notes. And when he has a conversation with the general said that if he found out how to beat them, he would bomb them out of existence. And a lot of the manosphere kind of do this with women. They want to bomb them out of existence. But these rich, powerful men, like Cage said, he is not mentally equipped to fight this thing, and you never will be. And that's the point. The point is, you're never going to be able to look at women and fight with them. They're not the enemy. And as you get better as a person, you get to see how they're stuck. Most of the guys are too worried about their egos, they're too worried about what's going on, and they don't understand. Now, granted, I've met plenty of obnoxious women, I've had plenty of situations, and it gets to the point when your confidence is better. It doesn't matter what they say to you. It doesn't matter. I had a story once. I was in a bar, and there was a younger woman there, and she didn't care about me. She wasn't interested. She wanted to shoot me down. So she had a haircut, and I said this in another video, and the haircut kind of showed a lot of her forehead. And I said to her, I said, you got too much of your forehead showing in that haircut, and like you shouldn't have it that back. By the way, if you see a sloped forehead that's like a perfect ball on a woman's head, that's usually a good thing that she's like a card-carrying feminist. So with this bowl haircut, or this bald part of the hair, and the hair was up there, she totally flipped out. She brought 3 different guys to retell the story, so one of them would try and fight me. And this is what happens. And I laughed it off. Now, did I engage with the guys knowing that that's the reason she brought them there? No. In fact, what I did is I knew what she did. It didn't bother me because I knew that she was triggered now because she couldn't kill me at that moment. So women are going to look to kill you any chance they get. And you're going to understand why in a second. So I went over the movie a little bit. There's also another scene where as he's together with her, they're at a helicopter area, and he simps. And when he simps, Rita flips out. Rita flips out when he's simping because that's not the right behavior. And why was he simping? He was enabling to try and protect her, but she's a soldier. And one thing that he says in the movie is, I can't save you. And you got to learn that. You can't save a woman. When you're meeting a woman and you're getting to know them, you can't save them. Either it clicks or it don't. If there are things there that are no good, red flags, you got to walk away. The thing the man's got to learn how to do is say no. Now, Chad says no, but Chad says no not because Chad says no because he has abundance. He definitely has abundance. In fact, you know what? Let me pull this up a little higher because I think I'm not catching all the paper. All right, let's see. I remember this is pretty ghetto the way I have this set up right now. All right. So Chad says no for abundance. And what happens is, because the way women are, that they try and kill you all the time. And I'm going to get to why they do it, and you'll understand a little better. And you're going to understand your role as well as a man. Okay. The woman tries to kill you all the time. And there's a reason for that. Let me draw it out for you. So I've made these videos for a long time. And I made this plenty of times. The human, man or woman, oh geez, I hate these stick figures. All right. The masculine part of our body is the head, hands, feet, and of course the arms, hands, arms. Anything that you can move and control is the masculine part. So when you're looking at the feminine is the torso. In fact, the feminine actually starts from the esophagus. So when you're looking at a woman, you think you see the woman attractive, whatever. I see a torso. That's what I see. And the reason why the woman kills you is that if you understand she's the torso, no head, the second food comes in through the esophagus into the stomach, the torso is digesting. It is actually killing whatever is left over after the mouth. That's how the first thing that happens. Second, there's no head there. So when a woman gets rejection, she has no head. Where does it go? It goes straight to the emotions. Now, this is going to make more sense in a second. So if the woman has no head, the man has the head. Remember, the man has the head, the control of the head, the arms, the legs. The woman doesn't. That's why men can parallel park, women can't. Men are in control of space. Women are in control of time. Rejection for the woman is, you could say, is like 10 to 100 times more painful, or loss of identity, if they get rejection. And anytime you reject a woman, forget it. She'll lose her shit. Literally. Now, if you understand this, now you see why the woman won't come up to talk to you. And the women that do are only doing it a lot of times for money. Like maybe, who knows, OnlyFans or whatever. So they can't handle rejection. They can't handle rejection because they don't have a head. And when we talk about OnlyFans women or promiscuous women or big time promiscuous or big time feminists, what happens is for these types of women, they have more sex so that by having more sex, they think that they're going to grow ahead and have control. And by doing that, they kill their torso. They kill their torso. So remember, the woman can't take rejection because she has no head. So when someone has no head, for self preservation, they kill you first. That's why women shut men down all the time, for self preservation. They don't know they're doing it, but now you know why they're doing it. So now when she's killing you, you know why. In the movie, she kept on killing him because he was damaged. So if you're getting killed first, you can't kill her. I know it's a little bit tricky, but it's a self-defense mechanism that people have. I'll kill you before you kill me. And that's what usually happens here because there's no head in the woman. Now, granted, there's a lot of women, they think they're really strong, big. Yeah. Once you understand this more and more, you will see the vulnerability. Now, here's the problem. What Chad and Tyrone do is they use lies and manipulation, and they allow the woman to manipulate themselves, and they don't really care about her. So when these guys, Chad and Tyrone, do these things, they burn the woman. They burn the woman, and then, now they got all this boiling anger inside, and they become bigger killers of men. You have no idea how vicious a woman can be. If you got her on the wrong side, you have no idea. But Chad and Tyrone use the woman, for the sex, but because they get so much, it really doesn't matter for them. Women, on the other hand, they don't need to use the men for sex. They can get that anytime they want. What they'll end up doing is you have a woman and she'll set up orbiters, like all these orbiter guys. And again, these guys are there because, they're scheming too. So Chad and Tyrone, what they're doing is they're lying and manipulating to get the sex. And the simps are also manipulating in a different way. They're manipulating on the quiet side. They quietly just become your friend. Actually, really creepy. So they're kind of creepy. They're kind of creepy in doing it. Now, the Chad and Tyrone get a pass because the woman's desire to be with Chad and Tyrone bypasses her killer instincts, and then Chad and Tyrone never grow into a better man. They end up taking on feminine traits. That's why if you watch the movie, you'll see how Cage had these feminine traits. And when he didn't get his way, he tried to use manipulation. He tried to use all kinds of things because deep down inside in the movie, Cage was a coward. He didn't want, in fact, what he say? He's scared of blood. He's scared to see blood. And he was able to participate in the war effort from the outside. He wasn't really wanting to be on the battlefront or whatever. So that's what he was doing. That's how he operated. But because he was killed so many times, the Chad and Tyrone part of him now was replaced by something greater. Now, I know I'm talking about men and women mostly, but you need to have, let me get this right, you need to have some sort of purpose in your life, something greater than you. This is what you got to figure out what this is. In other words, you got to do something. And it's not video games. Not video games. You see, when Cage went from Chad to a man, he went from a coward to courage, to a greater good. He did self-sacrifice. And the self-sacrifice made a man out of him. A lot of times, men are wondering, they're trying to find a woman, but what do you have to offer a woman? You are a maggot coming into the world. Now, a lot of guys say women are gold diggers. We're going to fix that right now. So I said that the man is this part of the body. He also controls the anus. He could turn the neck. He can turn the neck, but not the esophagus. Okay, this is the man. Okay. This is the female. So when I see a man, I usually see this. When I look at a female, I see the torso. I see the torso. So now, women do not represent the hands, the feet, and the head. When you bring food into the body, you're going to get this now. You bring food into the masculine part of the body, the mouth, eats the food, digests it, and sends into the esophagus to the female. Inherently, the role of the man is to bring the food into the body. Once he swallows that food, it goes to the female, and she digests reality. So now you understand why when men say, oh, the woman's after resources, the resource is not granted, when they start doing the 6 figures nonsense, just walk away. That's not for you. Let Chad have that. Let Chad sort that out. When these women have these things, these aren't women now. These are an imagination of a woman. They're not a woman. When they say they want 6 figures, 6 foot tall, and I forget whatever the 6 in size. Okay, they want 666. Okay, great. They want the devil. Great. This is what they're going to get. All right. This high value man BS. Now, what's your purpose? Greater than you. I'm going to tell you my purpose in these videos. Now, half my videos are about people. The other half of my videos are about the Bible. Bible. It's all in there. Everything I'm talking about. All the time on every video. Even if I don't say it, it's Bible and Jesus. By the way, in the movie Live, Die, Repeat, or you know what squad they were part of? J Squad. J Squad. J for Jesus. Did they do that intentionally? No. Maybe. Who knows? But J Squad. So what's my purpose? My purpose is to make you a hunter. I'll make a hunter out of you. Out of you. Not a predator. So that means you're going to Identify who you are, find a woman for yourself, but don't hurt women. And you're going to see in the next page why. So my goal here in these videos, in this video, is to make a hunter out of you, not a predator. To impart something to make you greater than you are and greater than me. My goal is to make people better, faster, smarter, because we need better people in this world. We don't need cowards, and we don't need men preying on women. And you're going to see in the next picture what that means. And we definitely don't want simps. We need to stop that. Now you're going to see what happens. So I'm going to draw a man. Again, my wonderful drawings. Your interaction, this is a male, your interaction with a female, okay? Remember, female, okay, female, male. How you deal with her will tell you your relationship with your inner self, okay? Or your spirit. This is a big understanding. If you're going to use her for sex, if you are going to not protect her, then it's no different than what you have as a relationship within your spirit. So if you're just going to use her for the bodily, just to get your kicks off, then you're going to end up being the psychopath narcissist. This is what you will become. And you will have fear in your head. You will have great ego. You're going to think you are I, like you use I all the time. And you're going to need lots of more enabling women that will just not kill you. Allowing your head to get larger and larger. Yeah, that's what pretty much will happen. So now in the movie, Rita Vertasky kept on killing him. That brought his head down to his body. Now, granted, we're not talking about physically killing in reality here, but in the movie, she kept on killing him. Every time he had to repeat and get killed again, it brought him closer to his body. He had less fear, he had courage, and he became useful. Got to remember, you start out as a maggot. Men especially, by the time the female is, I don't know, 13 years old, let's say, or 15 years old, she's already getting tremendous attention. Tremendous attention. As a man, you get none. Your attention will come as you develop yourself. Chad and Tyrone don't have to develop themselves. You know, they don't have to develop themselves. They could just coast. And that's what usually happens in relationships. So you have to respect women. And I know there's going to be kind of hard when you see some of the women that are here today. But you know what? Are they really, are you going to be able to have a relationship long term? Does she know how to cook? Yeah. Does she have a heart? She'll probably dump you. If you're looking at only the outside and you don't see the inside of the woman, then what you're going to end up having is you're going to have a nightmare. Remember when Rita Vertasky first met cage in the first meeting, what'd she do? Take his battery. Because she did not see him as a man. Even the way he says, do I have a hole in me or something? Nothing. She didn't even see him as a man. He might have looked good, but Rita had gone through her transformation where she's not getting the glory from the head. Because remember, women get lots of glory. Women get so much attention that they have a false reality. False reality. And that false reality is strengthened by simps. Simps co-sign the false reality of a woman. But, Chad and Tyrone, they tell us the truth because they don't care. They have more abundance. Okay, now we're going to get to another part. What usually happens with the Chad and Tyrone are greedy. Are greedy with the women. And not just Chad and Tyrone, most men don't help each other. Don't help. It's like it's really disturbing. We're in a time now where people are going to need to be working together, and most men are useless. In fact, if you watched another movie, Full Metal Jacket, that's another very interesting movie. Hartman, the drill sergeant, said a lot of nice things about the new fresh recruits, and I saved a couple. He also referred to them as maggots. He was going to turn them into weapons, ministers of death. They are unorganized amphibian shit, equally worthless. This is what he was saying about them. Worthless. And Hartman, though, got killed in that movie because that method of teaching men to be men, you're not teaching men to be men. You're teaching them to be despondent, not connected. And what did Hartman say right before he got shot? Didn't mommy and daddy show you attention when you were a child? Did mommy and daddy show you attention when you were a child? And this is a big problem. Now, I have other videos that goes into the stages of development. They're from before birth to 7 years of age. There are different stages of development. If the parents are not conscious of these stages of development, you are not going to develop into someone that is useful in life. You're going to have more problems that you got to sort out than you will be able to be useful. The man has to grow. The man has to not only grow, but he has to have honor. He has to be truthful. And don't sell out truth just to get a woman. It's better to just walk away and have that abundance, even if you don't have abundance. Why? Because you don't need to sacrifice truth. Now, what most men don't do is they don't help one another. And I got to tell you, there's this one guy who's got another YouTube channel. His name is King Riches. That's his, and Chez. And he talks about relationships, women, current events. He's got a very flavorful and colorful way of saying things. But he saw one of my videos and he actually shared it and spoke about it. And that's what men should be doing with each other. Because as you help others, God will provide for you. That's what we need to do, is help other people. We need to stop Chad and Tyrone from using the women, because by burning the women, those women will not be able to have a relationship with someone that would probably be good for them, or they won't, or shame them. Shame the women that are doing the bad behavior instead of co-signing their evil. And that's what you need to do as a man. Protect the women, because as you protect the women, you protect your own spirit and body. What you're doing outside the body is also a mirror of what's happening inside the body. That's why those drama queen women, and believe me, do I know them, these drama queens, especially ones that are attractive, they're getting so much attention that they can't even process emotions in their own body. So what they do is they create drama so she can have with different people. They create drama so that these are the emotions outside the body. That's what happens with these drama queens. Why? Because nobody ever told them no. So they couldn't be connected and brought back into their torso, where the woman has her greatest power. The woman's greatest power is the torso. She has life there, reproduction, and the Holy Spirit resides in the torso. That's where it is. That's why we need to protect women. And guys, if you are looking at the woman and all you see is the body, and you don't see the drama, and you don't see anything else, then you're locked in to be punished. And you're going to be punished again and again, and you might end up being a simp. Don't simp for the woman. If she says no, walk away. That's it. Whatever comes out of her mouth, and she says that's what she wants to do, that's it. You draw the line right there, you're done. Because women don't say things, they might plan stuff out. Believe me, they try and figure things out a lot. Like when a woman plans to tell you something, she's already made the decision on it. So at that moment, just go. So when the woman tries to kill you, pick yourself back up and just understand it's for your benefit. Because there'll come a time as you become like the movie, you get better and better, they can't kill you anymore. Not only can they not kill you anymore, then they gravitate towards you. The women will gravitate. And just because they gravitate doesn't mean that you're going to use them or lie. Don't use, don't lie. These are hard things to do, but it's because a lot of guys think that they're hungry all the time, and especially now, the women have been poisoned because they have all this Instagram and they have all this attention. They don't need your attention. They just don't. Don't give it to them. And I've always believed that. To be in truth, read the Bible. The Bible will give you strength, because how you relate to the woman is how you're going to relate with your inner self. Don't be a simp. And watch the movie, Live, Die, and Repeat. And you'll find it very interesting. The words that are used, things like judgment is said. This is your moment. Judgment. Um, the what's his name? Sergeant Carter. The Sergeant Carter said something. No courage without fear. You might just miss that. And when you're dealing with women, sometimes you have this idealization, like the idealization of a woman, but you don't see her. You do not see her. You just see the body, you just see what she represents, but you do not see the woman. When you start seeing the woman, then when they try and kill you, it's not going to bother you. And I actually think it's pretty fun. I mean, personally, I personally like the woman that tries to kill you. I just think she's just absolutely awesome. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but you got to have strength in your body and strength to be able to deal with that. And that's what we're talking about, is to bring you into that strength and understand you are the head. You are the head, arms, legs. She is the torso. She doesn't have the ability to take rejection. Just understand that. That's why she'll flip it on you. She'll squirm. She'll say, no, 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 no. Because for her, try it. Try it. Reject someone, see what happens. Tell them no. See how they flip out. And now you know why. Because there's no head. That's not their purpose. Their torso. Protect the torso. You have to bring the food into the head and feed the torso. That's the relationship between the man and the woman. Anyway, God bless. I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll make other videos on this. I jammed a lot of stuff into this because I kind of felt that it was going to generate some questions. Sometimes I kind of flounder around. But just remember, no is a good word, and use it. God bless.